Reserve approves first interest rate hike in more than 3 years. The Federal Reserve raised benchmark interest rates by 0.25 percentage point, lifting it to a target range of 0.25 to 0.50%, the first increase since 2018. America's central bank also said that it expects to leave the rate at 6 remaining meetings in 2022, with more to come next year, eventually bringing it to 2.8%. Despite the financial volatility caused by the war in Ukraine, the Fed felt it had to act to tame surging inflation. The conflict will only add to price pressures. Oil prices fall, continuing downward trend from last week. Oil prices retreated rapidly from the recent highs. Brent crude fell below $100 a barrel less than a week after it had hurtled towards $140. The International Energy Agency warned of a global oil supply shock caused by the effect of sanctions on Russian production, observing that new trades on Russian oil have all but dried up. Only Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates have the capacity to make up the shortfall, it said. EDF and the French utility increased their cost estimate. EDF raised its forecast of the cost it would bear from the French government's cap on household energy increase to 10.2 billion euro, that's $11.2 billion. The French utility also upped the estimate of the further hit it would take from reduced output at its nuclear power plants because of technical issues to 60 billion euro. G7 moves to take further economic measures against Russia. The G7 said it was working collectively to stop Russia obtaining financing from the IMF, World Bank, and the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development, and that Russia would no longer be treated as a normal trading partner. Extremist Meta faces ban over hate speech policy, Russian media reports. The Russian government moved to designate Meta as an extremist organization after the reports that the parent company of Facebook and Instagram would allow Ukrainians to call for violence against Russian soldiers on its sites. Meta said there was no change to its policy on hate speech. As far as the Russian people are concerned, the role does raise questions about Meta's role in selecting just when it thinks support for violence is suitable across its platforms. Putin changes law on leased jets to keep them flying. Vladimir Putin signed a bill enabling Russia's allies to transfer planes they have leased from foreign entities to a domestic register. That complicates moves by foreign lessors to repossess their aircraft because of sanctions. Earlier, the aviation authority in Bermuda, where most of the foreign jets are registered, suspended safety certifications for the jet. China stocks roll back after green days. The Chinese government promised that it would bring in policies that are favorable to the market in an attempt to shore up confidence after roots in China's stock market. Several factors, including the war in Ukraine and surging COVID-19 infections in China, have rattled investors. The CSI 300 index of share prices listed in Shanghai and Shenzhen fell sharply, as did Hong Kong's Hang Seng, which dropped to a 6-year low. After the government's intervention, the Hang Seng rebounded and had its best day since 2008. DiDi Global plans to delist from New York Stock Exchange. Uncertainty about the future of China's tech companies is another cause of investor jitters. The price of DiDi Global's depository shares in America plummeted by 44% after the ride-hailing company suspended plans to delist from New York and float on the Hong Kong Exchange. This came after the Chinese government told DiDi that it had not made progress in cracking supposed data security leaks. Intel announces 33 billion euro investment in Norway. Intel announced plans to invest 33 billion euro, that's $36 billion, making and designing chips in Europe. At least 17 billion euro will be spent on establishing a silicon junction in Germany for advanced chip making. Another 12 billion euro will be plowed into expanding its operations in Ireland, including building up its foundry business of making chips for another firms. The company could invest up to 30 billion euro over the next decade in Europe, though this will be rely on state subsidies.